Creativity is this essential human experience. It is not optional. It is necessary for us to create, to expand our own consciousness, and to relate to the world in a different way. Creating allows us to understand ourselves, others, and our communities in a much better way. In fact, making art promotes empathy, which we all need so much more of now. I want you to consider how you can put creativity at the top of your list instead of waiting for one day when you might have time to make art. And you might be saying to yourself, but I'm not good at art. I don't like the experience of feeling like I don't know what I'm doing. Well, that feeling all by itself can help you grow and become better at solving problems. If you want to get better at your job, make art. You'll have more capacity to solve problems as they arise. Want to be better in relationships? Guess what? Making art allows you to increase your empathy, and that gives you a better understanding of your perspective compared to other people's perspective. It has a huge impact on understanding the people most important to you. I've been getting a lot of emails from people that I subscribe to or I pay money to get information from. And this last week, I've gotten 3 that were clearly written by AI. These are women that I give money to that I really want to engage with. And I think there's such a temptation right now to experiment with AI, see what it can do for you. Can you use it like an intern? Can you task it with things that you don't need to do? Yes. However, we have to be really respectful. I'm seeing people wanting to sell a book that AI wrote for them on Amazon. I'm reading these newsletters that are so clearly the AI formula. On and on the words go in this very predictable pattern, bullet points, 2-sentence paragraphs. You know what I'm talking about. It's unfair to your audience, to the people that you're connecting with, when we show up with AI stuff. It's just not you, it's not your creativity, and it's, I think, treating your audience like we're not so smart. So I think it's worth experimenting with AI. Grammarly has been really helpful for a lot of my students in that it corrects spelling or it rearranges the verbs. It allows people to improve what they're already creating, and it's like a dusting of improvement, right? We've been using spell check for, I don't know, a decade. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about full-on delegating your creativity to the AI. And here's one more reason why I want you to be creating instead of using AI. The ideas that come to your mind lead to the next good idea. If you do a little brainstorming where you think of lots of different things, lots of possibilities to solve a problem, you will arrive at a great solution. If you delegate it to AI, it's not going to work. The relational aspect is simply not there. Being able to relate to yourself, to observe your thoughts, and create cannot be matched by AI. You do not get the brain benefits, and you do not increase your creativity by delegating those tasks to AI. One more challenge that I want to share with you around your AI use. I plugged in some of my own questions. My AI knows me, and I ask it to finish some references for some of my own work. It made stuff up. It made up titles of articles I did not write. And I asked AI, I'm like, what is this? This is not my work. And it said, oh, you're so smart, good catch. I'm really glad that you noticed this. It really matters in academia that we have accurate references. That was it. It could not help itself but to just make stuff up. If you are typing in things that you want to learn about into AI, you do not have the expertise on that subject, so that's why you're asking about it. It's impossible for us to know when AI is giving us the runaround or hallucinating. If you're typing in things about your emotional experience, that AI cannot read your gestures, your face, your vibe. It cannot know your history. If you're typing in symptoms of a disease, your AI does not know your family health history. It does not have access to like your medical records where a doctor could observe things happening over your lifetime. It's simply not the same thing. Trying to use AI for things that require relationship is not going to work. So, with caution, don't get sucked in to this cool new tool at the expense of your brain. And there is a whole episode on the Modern Creative Woman podcast all about this, and it's called Your Analog Summer. And I'm tasking you with some ideas that you can use to increase your creativity and grow your brain. And I explain the science, what researchers have observed in our brains from watching short form videos and from engaging with technology over time, including a lowered average IQ, loss of gray matter in our brain, and smaller ability to access what our brains are designed to do. And I want for all of you to avoid shrinking your brain. So it requires some offsetting. You're looking at social media, you're using AI, you must offset all of that with some art making and being creative. You can go to a museum, go to a cultural festival this weekend, check out a local exhibit or even outdoor sculpture gardens. Being in nature is another great way. It's related to creativity in terms of health benefits. And making your own art. Try getting some new art supplies, inviting friends over, and making something. You can find a little recipe somewhere for making art and invite your friends to engage. Don't ask AI. Look to art therapists, look to artists, copy a piece of artwork. That's a wonderful way to stretch your brain, copying the famous artwork. Okay, end of my rant about why you need creativity. If you want more, be sure and like and subscribe to this channel. Check out the Modern Creative Woman podcast. And I'm here, Dr. Amy Bacos, with over 3 decades of experience as an art therapist and a psychologist. And I am bringing you the art and science of creativity so you can have a more authentic, rich, fulfilling life. See you next week.